Most people dream of completely transforming their lives, but only a few are willing to embrace the 50 golden slots that separate mediocrity from greatness. What if I told you that you have limited access to only 50 mental reprogramming opportunities per year, and that each day lost to procrastination closes one of those windows forever? Every significant achievement begins with a conscious decision to leave the comfort zone and accept challenges. The great inventors and visionaries who transformed our world chose the challenging path instead of comfort. Thomas Edison, Henry Ford, Andrew Carnegie, all of them discovered that power lies in daily discipline, in the conscious repetition of what the common mind rejects. In the next 10 minutes, you'll discover exactly how to activate these transformation slots. I'll reveal the first 3 fundamental habits that Napoleon Hill called the secret protocols of the millionaire mind, techniques that modern neuroscience proves capable of reconfiguring your neural circuits in just 21 days of consistent practice. Prepare to discover the secrets that separated history's giants from ordinary people and how you can start applying them today. The first problem we need to solve is the mind's illusion that makes you believe success is complicated. The truth is exactly the opposite. Napoleon Hill spent 25 years studying the world's most successful people and discovered that they all followed extremely simple patterns, but that 99% of people never consciously implement. What happens to most people is that they get trapped in what I call mental scarcity syndrome. They believe there are infinite resources, infinite time, infinite opportunities. But neuroscience tells us a different story. Think of your brain as a bank with only 50 special vaults per year. Intro end. Each vault can store a new success program, but only opens when you act consciously. Every day that passes without deliberate action, one of those vaults locks forever. This is exactly what Edison discovered when he established his rigid 40-year routine. He knew that each lost day was a vault of opportunity that would never open again. And here's the question that changes everything. How many of your 50 transformation slots have you already wasted this year? What you'll discover now are the 3 fundamental habits that create the solid foundation for all others. Without these 3 pillars, any other success habit you try to implement will be like building a mansion on quicksand. Habit number 1, the morning decision protocol. In the first 30 seconds after you open your eyes, your brain is in what neuroscientists call theta state, a brain frequency extremely receptive to reprogramming. It's in this golden window that Napoleon Hill recommended doing what he called conscious auto-suggestion. Here's exactly how to implement it. Before even picking up your phone, before thinking about the day's problems, you'll declare aloud a single phrase that represents your success identity. Edison would declare, "Today I am an unstoppable force of innovation that turns every obstacle into opportunity." Ford would affirm, "My focused mind draws to me everything I need to succeed." The science behind this is fascinating. When you speak out loud during the morning theta state, you activate 5 brain areas simultaneously. It's like turning on 5 switches at once in your mind's control panel. In practical terms, you're literally installing new mental programming in the first moments of each day. It's like being the programmer of your own mental computer, writing the code that will execute for the next 16 hours. But here's the secret. Most people don't understand. The phrase needs to be specific, needs to be yours, and needs to represent who you're becoming, not who you are today. You're not affirming a lie, you're declaring a direction. You're informing your subconscious about the program it should execute that day. Habit number 2, the mental combustion protocol. Napoleon Hill discovered that all extraordinarily successful people had a daily ritual he called mental fuel burning, a specific period of the day dedicated exclusively to what he classified as concentrated mental work. Here's a harsh truth that few admit. Most people confuse being busy with being productive. It's like confusing running on a treadmill with actually reaching a destination. They spend the entire day in motion, but never leave the same place. The result? Years pass, and they remain in the same position, just more tired and more frustrated. Edison had an ironclad routine. From 6 to 8 a.m., absolutely nothing could break his focus. This was his sacred window of deep work. During those 2 hours, he had one singular focus, advancing his most critical project toward his primary goal. No exceptions, no interruptions, no distractions, and certainly no checking messages or social media like we're tempted to do today. Ford discovered the same revolutionary secret. His 2 hours of morning mental engineering were worth more than 10 hours of common work. Why? Modern neuroscience has the answer. Your brain is like a battery that starts each day with 100% charge. In the first hours, you have a mental supercomputer operating at maximum power, but this energy depletes quickly. After 10 a.m., it's like your mental battery starts draining fast. Your capacity for deep concentration begins to decline, and you become a prisoner to the distractions around you. So here's how to implement the mental combustion protocol. Identify what is the one most important thing you need to do to move toward your main objective. It could be writing a chapter of your book, developing a business strategy, studying a specific skill, creating a product, or solving a complex problem. Block out 2 hours of your day, ideally between 6 and 8 a.m., and dedicate this time exclusively to that one crucial task. Phone on airplane mode, notifications off, door shut. It's you, your mind, and the work that truly matters. Nothing else exists during those 2 hours. What happens when you implement this consistently is almost magical. In 30 days, you will have completed 60 hours of high-quality, focused mental work. This equals approximately 120 hours of typical scattered work. It's as if you've gained an extra month per year, but a month operating at peak mental capacity. Habit number 3, the directed energy protocol. This is the habit that separates those who achieve extraordinary results from those who remain in mediocrity forever. Napoleon Hill realized that all successful people mastered something he called conscious management of mental energy. Most people waste mental energy reacting to situations, responding to others' urgencies, allowing their emotions to be hijacked by external circumstances. It's like having a Tesla with ludicrous mode, but never getting out of eco mode. Carnegie taught Hill a specific exercise that he implemented religiously. Every 3 hours of the day, he would stop everything he was doing for exactly 2 minutes and ask a fundamental question. Is the mental energy I'm spending at this moment bringing me closer to or further from my main objective? It seems too simple, but the impact is transformative. Most of the time, you'll discover that you're spending precious mental energy on things that not only don't bring you closer to your goals, but actively pull you away from them. Toxic conversations, unnecessary worries, problems that aren't yours, dramas you can't solve. The protocol works like this. Set a quiet phone alarm to go off every 3 hours. When the alarm sounds, immediately stop what you're doing and ask this question. Is the mental energy I'm spending at this moment bringing me closer to or further from my main objective? If the answer is closer, continue with even more intensity and focus. If the answer is further or I don't know, stop immediately and redirect your energy towards something that brings you closer to your objective. Edison discovered that by implementing just this habit, he managed to increase his creative productivity by 300% in the first year. Not because he worked more hours, but because every minute of work was aligned with his main objectives. Every drop of mental energy was being directed toward meaningful results. Neuroscience confirms, when you consciously redirect your attention and mental energy multiple times per day, you're strengthening the neural connections responsible for self-control and focus. It's like weight training for the brain. With each conscious redirection, you become mentally stronger, more capable of sustained focus, more resistant to distractions. These 3 habits, the morning decision protocol, the mental combustion protocol, and the directed energy protocol, form the solid foundation upon which you'll build all other success habits. They're like the foundations of a skyscraper, invisible but absolutely essential to sustain everything that comes after. With these 3 fundamental foundations established, you've already created the mental infrastructure necessary for the more advanced protocols. Now it's time to discover the secret habits of the millionaire mind that Napoleon Hill revealed only to a select circle, techniques that only 1% of people know and consciously implement. But before revealing these deeper secrets, I need to tell you something that will completely change your perspective on what's truly possible when you master these protocols. Can't you already possess the knowledge of the first 3 fundamental habits, the tools that can reprogram your mind in just 21 days? Now the moment has come to elevate your transformation to the next level, discovering the most powerful secrets that set the giants of history apart from ordinary people. Because every great achievement begins with a conscious decision. Edison didn't become the most prolific inventor in history by accident. Ford didn't revolutionize the automotive industry by luck. They mastered specific mental protocols that modern neuroscience now proves to be fundamental for the complete transformation of personality. Habit 4. The Magnetic Identity Protocol. This is the habit that transforms knowledge into personal magnetism. Because you can master the first 3 protocols, but if your internal identity doesn't change, you'll always return to old patterns. Every revolutionary in history had an identity ritual. Leonardo da Vinci saw himself as a master creator before every project. The Wright brothers visualized themselves soaring through the skies before they ever built their first plane. Andrew Carnegie pictured himself as a captain of industry every single day. Da Vinci saw himself as a creative genius before each project. Carnegie visualized himself as an industrial leader every single day. Here's your protocol. Every night before going to sleep, spend exactly 3 minutes visualizing your ideal day, already living your new identity. See yourself waking up with energy, making confident decisions, attracting opportunities naturally. But here's the secret. Don't visualize as if it were a movie. Visualize in first person. Feel the emotions, hear the sounds, notice the physical sensations. Your subconscious mind cannot distinguish real experience from vividly imagined experience. You are literally training your brain for your new reality, activating the same neurons that fire when you actually live the experience. Habit 5. The 5 Golden Seconds Rule. Think of your brain as an elevator. When inspiration arrives, you have 5 seconds to get into the elevator before the doors close, and it goes down to the basement of procrastination. Neuroscientists have discovered something revolutionary. When you count 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and act, immediately you break through the mental barriers of fear and doubt. It's like having a secret code that unlocks your potential. Edison was a master at this. Every inspiration became immediate physical action, a note, a drawing, an experiment. He never let an idea die in hesitation. Your mission, every time you think I should do this, count 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and take a micro action. Your brain will start recognizing you as someone who acts, not someone who just plans. Habit 6. The Magnetic Energy Detector. This habit is what ensures all your mental energy becomes a magnetic force directed toward success, because wasted energy is potential lost forever. Carnegie taught Hill a transformative exercise that changed his life. Every 3 hours throughout the day, stop everything and ask yourself this crucial question. Is the energy I'm spending right now bringing me closer to or farther from my main goal? It seems too simple, but the impact is profound. Most of the time, you'll discover you're wasting precious mental energy on things that not only don't bring you closer to your goals, but actively sabotage you. The protocol works like this. Set a discrete alarm to ring every 3 hours. When it rings, stop immediately and ask the question. If the answer is bringing closer, continue with more intensity. If it's taking away or I don't know, redirect immediately. Edison discovered that this simple habit increased his creative productivity by 300% in the first year, not because he worked more hours, but because every minute was perfectly aligned with his main objectives. Habit 7. The Daily Dose of Courage. The last habit is what transforms all this reprogramming into permanent strength, because courage is like muscle. Either you exercise and strengthen it or it atrophies. Every day, deliberately choose one thing you would normally avoid for being difficult or uncomfortable, and do exactly that thing. It could be a conversation you've been postponing, an intimidating project, or a boundary you need to establish. The secret isn't in what you do, but in what you're training. Your mind to associate with growth instead of comfort. Every courageous choice is a vote for the stronger version of yourself. Napoleon Hill discovered that all millionaires shared this trait. They did at least one thing daily that most people would avoid. Not because they enjoyed discomfort, but because they knew that mental power is forged in resistance, not in ease. Think of it as your daily dose of vitamin C, vitamin courage. The synergy of the 7 habits, your complete transformation. Now you have the same 7 mental protocols that separated Thomas Edison, Henry Ford, and Andrew Carnegie from ordinary people. Every morning, you program your mind in the theta state. During the day, you act in 5 golden seconds. At night, you strengthen your new identity through visualization. It's like having 7 powerful tools working 24 hours a day to sculpt the most extraordinary version of yourself, exactly as the giants of history did. Week after week, you are literally rebuilding your personality neuron by neuron. Neuroscience proves, in just 21 days of consistent practice, you can remodel 40% of the neural connections that control your automatic behaviors. In 90 days, this transformation crystallizes permanently. But here's the truth that Edison discovered, and modern science confirms: knowledge without immediate action is just sophisticated entertainment. Now you possess all 7 mental protocols that transformed ordinary minds into extraordinary forces. But we've reached the most crucial moment of this entire revelation. The question that will determine whether you're going to join the 1% who actually transform their lives, or whether you'll continue being just another person who knows a lot but doesn't apply anything. Your decision in the next 5 seconds. Every significant achievement in history began with a conscious decision. Edison decided to light up the world. Ford decided to put America on wheels. Carnegie decided to build a steel empire. And you? What decision are you going to make now? You now possess the exact 7 protocols that transformed these ordinary minds into extraordinary historical forces. The knowledge is complete. The methods are revealed. The only remaining variable is your decision. Because right now your primitive brain is preparing to convince you that you'll do this later, when you have more time, or when you feel more prepared. But the giants of history knew a devastating secret. The perfect moment is always now. Here's your first 5-second golden test. Before you close this video, take one concrete action. It could be setting your alarm 30 minutes earlier tomorrow and preparing your morning affirmation. It could be configuring your first energy redirection alarm. It could simply be commenting, "I'm implementing these 7 protocols starting today." What's your choice? Will you push through like Edison or quit like 99% of people do? Because the disciplined and well-directed mind becomes the most powerful force humanity knows. Edison proved this. Ford confirmed this. Carnegie crystallized this. And this same force is waiting to be unlocked within you at this very moment. You now know the 7 secret protocols of the millionaire mind that we promised to reveal. You know how to unlock your 50 mental transformation slots. You possess the neurological tools that separated history's giants from ordinary people. In just 21 days, you could be living a completely different life. Or you could be stuck in the same spot, wondering, what if I had taken action when I learned these game-changing strategies? The choice is yours. Your most powerful version, the one that masters the same protocols that transformed Edison, Ford, and Carnegie, is waiting on the other side of this decision.